Look at that. Hello, everybody. I don't know if you hear the sirens, the fire alarm, or the ambulance sirens. Usually a message that needs to be delivered. I've been building the courage and the strength to come here, okay? Welcome. Thank you so much for coming to Angie Blog. Right now, sorry, I'm not want to show my face really. My eyes are really poofy. I've been in my very crying and stuff like that. Honestly, last night I received one of the worst. I mean, I had other spiritual warfares like this attacks, but last night was really intense, which now will make me even more encouraged to deliver this truth. He let me know is that some people need to hear this truth, okay? And a lot of us prophets, psychic readers and stuff like that have been encouraged to do so. But the one thing he told me today is that this past week when I was with my daughters, there's been a lot of training and spiritual lessons as well, even with my kids. But one of them is that I recorded a video a couple of days ago that I was gonna post with a recent video that you just saw, the one where I was gonna show you guys talk about certain truths, certain things that he wants me to deliver. But even through that video, when I was making that video and things were happening, it was like I saw also even myself who was in training, how my words got tricked out, how my words got twisted around, and but also he let me know, it's like, I want to show you how these rituals and major illusionist people, how they're doing this, how it affects people who are meant to be speaking the truth, people who are being who are taking the road of decolonization, who are outside of the status quo, who's supposed to not be in this accepting all these things, and that's it. We're all being in training, and it's not going, especially if you chose to, you surrender your path, your soul, and everything to the divine, to Christ, right? To Christ consciousness, right? You understand how religion and spirituality are not the same, right? And also that too is like when you have a relationship with God, you understand how religion, it's just an excuse to do other things that you're not meant to be doing, you're not supposed to be doing. Even if you repent and confess and all these things, he's letting me know, it's like, I rather you guys be in a spiritual path growth than being too religious and following this old doctrine, all colonial and patriarchy, all these things that they made it normalized. And yes, they wrote an amazing holy book, and he says most of that stuff in those holy books, I explained it more into this video that I put it on my Patreon. Is in the spirituality earth consciousness lessons. It's called, if you go on my Patreon, it's about spirituality and education on New Earth. And I call it is that to pay attention. But I'm gonna give you some tips here, because he said also that if you're able to go in the Patreon and you wanna see that, you need to be able to handle the truth, because even then you're gonna see also how the good and the bad is in that video, but also how I was even tricked. And I put it on the caption, like I didn't want to say that. And then I got tricked to say certain things. So even me, it's like, you have to catch yourself when you're being conditioned or programmed, when you're still conditioned and programmed to even say certain things that you don't want to say. And that's part of the ritual. That's part of the illusion. And they're doing it through media. They're doing it to hearing podcasts and stuff like that. They're doing it into many things. That's what I told you guys in that video. Is like a lot of us are being deceived. Even those who are speaking the truth, we also have to catch ourselves, because even us, we're like, wait, that's not what I meant to say. I was talking about something completely different before that, and then I start saying something that it wasn't even, I'm siding with the enemy. It's like, wait, why am I doing that? So that's why he said that even in the location where I was, I have to be careful. He said, watch where you go, you open yourself to warfare. So he's letting me know that even in the location that I was, when I was filming, when I was talking about this, and it could be like the most innocent thing. It was a playground. It was a place where kids go play and stuff like that. But he said even the ground itself, I'm opening myself to warfare, where he also cannot be, like he's there, angels are there to help me. But if I'm putting myself in a place where I'm open to spiritual warfare, that they cannot help me. That's what way I have to, even like when after that, I had to come home and pray and rebuke and stuff like that, because I was not in a holy ground, let's say, to talk about this, right? But also there's a spiritual lesson in the bad of that, is because he wants to show me that even when that we all make mistakes, even when we're going to the spiritual path, even when we're prophetess, we're psychic reader, tarot readers and stuff like that. He said even us get to get tricked. Okay, and it's up to us to catch that and to, you know, take action and responsibility for that. Because, and that too, he was like, you see, you were gonna post that video, you were gonna put it out there, and you weren't gonna, you know, you're just gonna be like, okay, well, no. That's what he said. No, I need you to let go of that ego, and I need you to put this in a place where other people can learn where about this. But also, we're gonna make another video while I'm helping you with this. And I think he was preparing me about this, because I even, like, there's really horrible and wicked and disgusting people out there, okay? You really, guys, have to be using your discernment. And he's teaching us this, but you know, to build the strength and courage to say this type of things that I'm going to say here, and I also talked about in that video, you know, and that's what he's letting me know also. If you don't have the means to see the, get into the Patreon for the spiritual lesson and stuff like that, he said that if you're interested and you're able to handle the truth, email me. He said, I'll give it to you for free. Okay, I will show you the video for free. Okay. Again, it's unlisted, so you're not allowed to share it or to, you know what I'm saying? You can show it to any of your family if you like, if they're surrounding you. But yeah, he said that I'm not able, only for those who can handle the truth for that. Anyways, I'm gonna give you a little bit of some of it here, what I talked about, because he wants me to read it to you, what he let me know before I make that video, what exactly the channel message was, okay? But again, some of you, I'm just letting you know, you will get triggered, especially those who, just like me, who have been abused sexually, physically, in any type of way, okay? And sorry, I'm really nervous and shaking a little bit, because I'm trying to overcome this fear and doubt that, again, I know that was the tactic of the spiritual warfare last night. It was actually to make me not say this thing, make me discourage me, traumatize me all over again. And I know that was a part of the ritual, because, you know, Jesus was there all the way this morning, like when I was crying and repenting and rebuking this disgusting thing that they try to do, so that I don't speak the truth, right? But you know, that was a fucking stupid spirit, and honestly, go fuck yourself, you fucking piece of shit. And I'm going to expose you no matter what. I don't give a fuck anymore. And I rebuke it in the name of Jesus Christ. And I've been rebuking and I've been praying, and that too, Jesus told me after I went through that and we sent it back right away, he let me know it's an illusion, it's not true, okay? What you saw is not true. And also that too, they made me also believe that my person, the person, my divine spouse was there. They even imitate his voice. It was horrible. These people are horrible, whoever these people are. And he showed me it's a bunch of people, it's a cult, it's a people who have money and stuff like that. Like, they're disgusting. And then that too, I'm so grateful. Honestly, guys, I'm telling you, we can't go through all of this without God, okay? Sorry that I'm like, That too, I don't care when the Cancer season, I'm being vulnerable, I'm putting out there. That's why I'm not showing my face, because my eyes are so puffy from crying so much. And I was having such a great dream and stuff, and then all of a sudden everything shifted. And that's how I knew. It's like, wow. And other prophetess, especially Stephanie P. Smith, who talked about this, like how they do this, how they alter your dreams, how you really, like when I see it now, it's like, wow, she's really talking about the truth. Like really God is showing her to teach us, because we need these lessons. These lessons are needed, especially when you're going through something that, you know, you're not sure if you're even worthy of speaking this stuff, you know. And anyways, it's just disgusting. And that's what he was kept saying me, that my person wasn't my person, like my divine spouse wasn't there, and he wasn't. That's not true. Like everything, it was fucked up. Like for sure some type of voodoo or something. And by the way, there's voodoo that is done in a way that is, oh, like, you know, in the African and culture, it's, you know, meant for healing and stuff purposes. But there's just like everything, just like tarot, just like oracle reading, just like spirituality can be turned, divinity, tarot can be turned into completely dark and twisted and disgusting. Like there's people who taking all these and turn it into completely, and that's part of the lesson too, because the devil is trying to imitate God. When God gives us gifts and talent, he's trying to imitate it and turn it all fucked up so that other people think that it's God, but it's not God, it's him. It's this motherfucker who is a stupid evil spirit. It's disgusting. I can't stand this. And those who choose that side, like, you are disgusting. I don't know how you survive, honestly, but that's how you do it. You survive by, you gotta do this every single day. You gotta sacrifice and do all this fucking stupid shit to people, to others, children and women to survive. But it's not gonna be for long. It's short-lived. That's what God keeps telling me. Like, it's not gonna be for long. Like, you know, those who choose the right path, God, choose, you know, to do the right thing. Speak up the truth, even if it makes, you know, all prophetess who followed, they all got persecuted. They all got, you know, attacked and everything in every possible way, but they still follow God. And that's why these people are jealous and envious and hateful, that we decided to choose God. We chose to love him, love Jesus, love our angels, and co-create with the universe, with God. Is like, that's why it is. And that's why I like, okay, no, I can't have fear or doubts or all this anxiety and depression and lack mentality and all these things when I'm following God. Because if I'm doing all these things and I'm lowering my vibration and then I'm just following it, and that's what it is. They're trying to lower your vibration so you follow the same pattern as other people, and that's not what it is. I'm here to break generational curses and help other people do that. So that's what it is. And if you don't like it, then you're in the wrong channel. And if you others like it and you're here for that, to learn and not be conforming to disgusting society and all this stupid shit, then you're in the right path, okay? That's what I'm here for, and I don't care what anybody has to say. I don't care. I mean, I go through so much shit and spiritual warfare and things that people can't even imagine, you know? And this type of work is not easy to do, but you know what I'm saying? I'm just grateful for everything. Even the worst, the bad lessons, I'm grateful for that, because through there I can find the light. As a light worker that I am, that I'm meant to be speaking the truth and clarity and justice in this world, I'm glad for that too. That's it. Now, what he kept saying is, also the Bible verse of the day today was like really encouraging, and that's who I added it into the video today that he asked me to put in the Patreon. Okay. Yeah, so let's start with that, and then I'm gonna read you. He wants me to read you what I wrote. It was on June 28th at 4:51 p.m. Okay. So here it is. So yeah, the Bible of the day today, this was encouragement, motivation, also other people as well. By the way, thank you so much. Those profited, those people who are of God, those people who are, asking us, to pray more, to continue having consistency and building that relationship with God, with Jesus, with Christ consciousness, or those righteous or good alchemists who are doing the right thing as well. You know who you are, especially if you're doing the decolonization, you're doing the shadow work and inner work, and you're not cursing yourself by doing things, that are not, you know who you are. So I just want to tell you that the Holy Spirit let me know today that He's very grateful for what you're doing, and also that your worth, your work, and everything matters. Okay, even when you think that you're not making any difference, you are making a difference. Okay, I'm telling you this, and I'm telling myself this because I'm included in that collective, right? In the Christ consciousness, those people who are actually doing the work. And not conforming to this situation, which I'm going to get more deeper into that. But there's a couple verses that he told me today after that dream, after I passed that spiritual warfare, that test. And it's interesting that I woke up to do this around, it was 5 in the morning. And then I've been praying to 6 or something, and that's when I finally, Jesus let me know. It's no, it's done. Don't worry. It's already being sent back. It was an illusion. It's not real. Okay. And it's so nice when you have it was when you're a kid and you're having a horrible nightmare, right? And you have this loving parent that is there to help you get through this horrible nightmare. And reassures you and lets you, that's what it felt like, and that's what I'm saying, guys. When you can't go through things, especially when you go through this depression or have suicidal thoughts, and whatever's happening in the world is triggering you, or you think that it's not, don't think for a second, don't lose hope, because yes, whatever is going on is the evolution of humanity, is change and stuff, but He's letting you know that you cannot give up and lose faith and trust, okay? Because He's fighting huge battles that we cannot even possibly imagine. And without Him, we cannot overcome all of this, okay? So just hold on to that whenever you feel weary or that you can't do things, or that you're giving up, okay? Because He really will get you out of that pit and give you that strength and courage to continue going, okay? And this too is something about some truth, but also some encouragement for you, okay? Okay, so he said, Bible verse of the day, Galatians 5:1, okay? 1, it says, "It is for freedom that Christ has set us free. Stand firm, then do not let yourself be burdened again by a yoke of slavery." Amen. So that too is we all think that we're free, that everybody's free. No, that's another thing that we're saying. Don't let yourself fall down because you feel trapped, or you feel like your freedom has been, you know what I'm saying? No, this is not that, okay? So then he said, to read you this. So he said, pay attention. This is what the video is about, that if you want to have access to it, I'll email me and I'll send you the link. But other than that, will be in the description, and it will be in Patreon, okay? So those who have Patreon, and remember, those who are members of my Patreon, you have access to everything, all exclusive content, all spiritual education, all extended videos that I put for any of the videos here. You all have access to it. Also, all of you have access to any videos before I post them here. You have access first, okay? You can see them first. That's just what it is. So 2:22 on the clock. Thank you, universe. All right, so it says, pay attention. They are telling on themselves. God is allowing this for a bit to help us train our intuition right now. He clearly said it. it is not me. I'm not okay with anti-abortion laws. This is demonic, and those who are forcing this law or are okay with this are telling on themselves. So he said to pay attention to those people who are into anti. And now when I post this, and if they're changed their mind, right? Let's say they're like, oh, anti-abortion laws are good and blah, blah, blah. And then after I post this, if anybody sees this video or you start recognizing their patterns, they're going to shift. They're going to be like, oh, no. You know, anti-abortion laws are bad. But in the beginning, they were for it. This is your confirmation. That's what God works in a strategic way, and he's showing, and he wanted me to post this video a specific time today, specifically for certain community. So please guys, like, share, and comment the video so other people can find this video as well, okay? Because this is meant for other people who need to hear this, okay? He says, this is demonic, and those who are forcing this law or are okay with this are telling on themselves. He said, they are rapists, pedophiles, abuse women sexually, have done it or are planning to do it again once they reach a certain status. So now they're doing this to reach a certain status, to be okay with the status quo. Some of them are getting paid to be doing this. Some of them are influencers and stuff like that, getting paid to do this. Yeah, they're saying they're telling on themselves. So God is allowing this for you to see, to use discernment and use your intuition, okay? He said they also want to control women and bring demonic spirits to this plane through women. So that to women who are abused sexually, traumatic ways, sexually and stuff like that. Any trauma sexually, especially men, incest, he keeps saying incest, or people who are, you know, okay with this. Like he kept saying that they have, some of them have a psychological problem because all the spiritual warfare that they have been doing. So now they are, there's a, like they have a demonic, a sexual demon where they are, they get a thrill from raping and not only women, but children and stuff like that. And these people, he said, they're religious. They're very religious. So he said to pay attention to that. And whenever they talk about this, they talk about how happy they are for anti-abortion laws and stuff like that. God says, if you have children, keep your children away from this person, whoever it is, this group of people and stuff like that, because these people are abusers. Like they're telling on themselves. He said that everybody, even religious people who are like happy about this anti-abortion, because he said abortion is part of that's one of the gifts that he gives to women. He said, that's why I made women have a sixth sense, intuitive, is because I want them to have the discernment. But that too, not all women are spiritual, right? Not all women have this intuition and connect with God. So that's what he's saying. I'm also teaching women to do this so that you're able to know, okay, is my child righteously so to be on this planet or not? He gives them that power. And that's why men, patriarchy, colonial mindset are not okay with this. That's why it's demonic. And that's why they're trying to target and attack women right now, okay? Because they have the power to bring people into this realm or not. They are the portal, whether people like it, men like it or not, okay? Now, he keeps saying that there's a difference though. Let's say a woman was raped, abused sexually or any type of way, right? And they are forced to bring children and stuff like that. Or let's say like women who you know, who didn't, like he keeps saying, like, let's say, for example, there's women who accidentally got pregnant, right? And they don't want to be with that person and stuff like that. For example, he says that, let's say that they don't want it, they have some type of animosity or something about the men that they got pregnant on. He keeps saying, like, in certain situation, that is also their right to choose, okay, because let's say you're doing it because you don't want to be with that man or something, or you don't want your baby to have some type of trace or something from that man or something like that. Like, let's say it was a mistake, right? Let's say, you know, but God is saying, like, sometimes those moments or situation are orchestrated for a certain path. For example, he said, when it's not made out of trauma, like he said, when you have a kid by accident, but it's not made out of trauma, Like you weren't sexually abused, you weren't, you actually consent, like, you had sex without a condom. That's it, or the condom broke or something like that. Or, it's something like that. He's saying that those situations, you really have to ask God. For example, he's saying to tell you my situation, and I'll be straight up with you. And I spoke about this in one of my videos, but he's saying to let you know, for example, my second baby, I love my second baby, I love my baby, but during that time I wasn't in a good situation with my person, and the person, not my person, but the person that I was with, which I didn't know that they weren't my person. It was a karmic relationship, right, that I needed to let go of. But back then I wasn't awoken, I wasn't going through that spiritual path that I am now. And honestly, at one point when I really, I consider it, like I consider having an abortion with the second child, and it happens to all of us. Like, if you don't have the financial means, if you're not in a good relationship with someone, if you know someone try to do this to trap you, try to make babies with you to trap you and stuff like that, and you're not aware, you're kind of naive about that, stuff like that. So I remember that I did consider, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go for it, I don't want to, and that's when I'm giving you some advice, and I'm giving you this testimony so you to make that decision yourself. Okay, I'm not here to tell people what to do, if you should have kids or not. That's your free will, but I'm letting you know that God gives you that intuition and access to a certain extent. Okay, because you also can curse yourself if you abort this child and God has given you specific instruction that wasn't a mistake. But again, he keeps saying, but not when it comes from trauma. For example, if you have sex with someone and it wasn't your consent or something like that, that's what he's saying. Yes, you're allowed to abort that, because that is a karmic child. That is a demonic child. Okay? That's what he's saying. When it's trauma bonding, when it's trauma involved, even in the spiritual, sometimes like we get raped in the spiritual realm by demonic things, and we think it's our person. It's like, even that, some people are gonna get rowdy about this, but it has happened, and you have to rebuke it, and you have to repent and stuff like that, and you have to cleanse yourself. Like some of us are being guided to do some yoni steam, even though we're celibate, right? Just putting it out there. But he's saying when it comes from trauma bond or things, for example, like a mistake, or some of us like incest. For example, he said when a parent or a family member has raped a child, okay? He said consider a child, a 16-year-old is a child, he says. 16-year-old women should not be having children, he said. That is not okay, especially if they're raped and traumatized. That is not okay. That's why the abortion needs to happen. And that's why the anti-abortion, he's not okay with that, because that's what these people are doing. They're trying to bring demonic spirits into this realm through trauma. So that's what he's saying, that he's given you women who you call a mistake, right? But it wasn't, you didn't have a trauma or sexual trauma or something like that through when you were having sex, right? It was a mistake for the condom breaking, he's saying, or you mistakenly have sex with this person. Now you don't want this man, but also you don't want the child. But now you're kind of blaming the child for something, a mistake that you did. They should have been more cautious of, that you should have, prevented. Also, a lot of you, he keeps showing me that 3 pill. He said that after you have sex and it was a mistake, or the condom breaks, or you don't want to be with that person or something like that. He said that there's a 3 pill or something like that. There's a pill that you go to the pharmacy literally and you get it and you don't have a kid anymore. He says that, why don't you use that? I mean, maybe he's saying that certain medical places are not allowed, but those in Canada, US, you have that available. He said in the US, you have to pay for it. That's unfortunate, but those in Canada, they don't have that problem, right? You have that access. Which also he's saying, why don't every country in the world has access to these pills, where if you made a mistake or your condom breaks, or you know what I'm saying, after you have sex, you literally have 3-4 days to take this pill. So all of us have done this situation. We've been in situations where he's saying the pull-up, right? When the pull-up doesn't work and the person comes in you, yeah, That's what he's saying. You go to the pharmacy, you go and do your like, you don't have to, you know what I'm saying? But others of you who are not aware, that's why he's saying that sexual education needs to be a priority, especially for women, to teach them about these things so that they're able to protect themselves, so they're able not to be in that situation where they have to abort a child after a month or 3 months. That's what he's trying to say. Like, sometimes that happens. Sometimes, like, someone who's young, not aware of their situation, or maybe in a country they're not aware, or they get married by someone really old and they're young and stuff like that. Like that, God is not okay with that. Like, he keeps showing me that, and he's like, I can't stand that. There's certain cultures and stuff like that, religions, that's why they're cursing themselves and their family, because they're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to get married with a 16-year-old girl and have children with them. That is not okay. That's what that's what the new earth is. He's using the colonization, rebuking and transmuting everything, because he's taking all your shit and turning into what needs to be righteous. That's why you guys are all getting rowdy and mad, but it is what it is. Now he's letting certain situations to pass through so that he can train you with your intuition, to use discernment, and also to stay away with certain peoples who are okay with anti-abortion laws. He said they are telling on themselves. Okay, so he says, women who are raped and sexually abused and get pregnant, their children are not well. They are karmic, narcissistic abuser by nature, because they are created out of trauma, bond, evil intent. These children are not of God. That's why they need abortion laws in these places. Pay attention. It's not just witchcraft. It goes deeper than that. It's all about confirmation and it's all about control. But you see, this is a confirmation for some of you, and power. And they are doing it by saying my name in vain and trying to control women who are sacred and the portal of this planet, whether people like it or not. They're always in control and have my full approval to bring someone into this plane or not. And that too, that's what he's saying. When you become someone spiritual, when you become connected, let's say it did happen, it was a mistake, okay? And let's say you didn't take the pills, and let's say you waited a couple months and stuff like that, and now you're deciding whether to abort or not. And this is where my situation happened, where literally I prayed to God and asked him for my second child, if this is something that, is it okay and stuff like that. And then he showed me through dreams and let me know what she will look like and stuff like that. And he let me know like her life, that even though, and then that too, he showed me that I was going to be a single mother even before my daughter was born. He showed me how all the things, and that's when I knew, I was like, no, I have to bring this baby. So you will know it in your gut, especially when you're connected with God. He will tell you, no, that baby, you need to take it out. No, that baby is meant to be a prophet. That baby meant to be a healer. Do you understand? So he's saying that some of you will, that's what he give you. He's trying to train you all, especially in this Neptune retrograde. He wants you to take advantage of the Neptune retrograde, which is in Pisces, which is all about intuition. It's all about vulnerability. It's all about connecting with your divine feminine, okay? And your divine masculine. I'm not saying this to jeopardize other masculines as well, but these people, this masculine, also need to work on their intuition to let go of this, go through the ego death, let go of this patriarchy, colonial mentality, and this controlling and trying to control women and stuff like that. And also that too is like, a lot of you have a lot of traumatic and horrible experiences. And also that too, when you have sex with other people, these people transfer their trauma, their karmic situation, perhaps demons or curses, financial curses, and now you're carrying that to other people. So it's like a toxic loop. This is what the devil wants. This is why he's trying to do this type of things. And that's why you need to use discernment and use your intuition, okay? He says, women are intuitive for a reason, and it's because they have direct link with me, the creator, as my creations are birthed through them. That's why the devil is trying to control that now, but it's not going to be for long. Please trust me. I'm letting this slide because there is a lesson for all of us, and I'm trying to expose to you rapists and sexual abusers of women and children who have repent, and I have forgive them, and because of that, they are planning to do it again, or have already done it, but are religious, quoting the Bible and mentioning my name to do and create horrendous laws to justify their illegal actions and thinking that they won't be exposed. That's why light workers and highly intuitive earth angels are here. Okay? You are not meant to be religious or side with anyone. You are sovereign and are here to expose both sides, because other spirituals are too prideful and egocentric and think that their shit don't stink either. And religious people are corrupt and have sold their soul to the devil long time ago. They are just pretending to follow me, and they even go to church to justify their evil deeds. Please stay grounded and thank yourself for not falling for the trap. You know my voice and you know what I'm about. Please don't change and keep your heart pure. It matters more than ever now. He literally channel message like this to me, like this, okay? And I know that a lot of people, if you want more confirmation or a deeper level, go to the video. Now he showed me after I went through that spiritual warfare today, he said, please read Corinthians 12. Number 4. Corinthians 12, he said, now there are varieties, he said before. Yeah. Therefore, I want you to understand that no one speaking in the Spirit of God ever says Jesus is accursed. And no one can say Jesus is Lord except in the Holy Spirit. Now, there are varieties of gifts, but the same Spirit. This one is important. He said Corinthians 12. After I saw Corinthians 12 and 13, and you know, guys, that's Corinthians 13 is one of my favorites. It's about love. So go check it out. It's all about, love. It's not, love is pure, love is kind, love, it's a beautiful verse. So go read it, okay? But this one was specifically for some people that need to understand this, that you need to stop judging. He kept saying, stop judging and stop jeopardizing other people because you're jealous and envious and vindictive. You need to work on your shadow. He says, now there are varieties of gifts, but the same Spirit. And there are varieties of service, but it's the same Lord. And there are varieties of activities, but it's the same God who empowers them all in everyone. That's what he kept saying, equity, equanimity. Everyone is the same. That's what religion is trying to separate, you guys, okay? To each is given the manifestation of the Spirit for the common good. For to one is given through the Spirit the utterance of wisdom, and to another the utterance of knowledge according to the same Spirit. To another faith by the same Spirit. To another gift of healing by the one Spirit. To another the working of miracles. To another prophecy. To another the ability to distinguish between spirits. To another various kinds of tongue. To another the interpretation of tongue. All these are empowered by one and the same Spirit, who apportioned to each one individual as he wills. Remember that. Okay, we all have different paths and different gifts, and we're not meant to be jealous or comparing ourselves or lowering ourselves or being envious. Each of us has different paths, and we shouldn't be judged. This is what religion does. This is what religious people do, and they get credit for it by judging other people. That's what he told me today. If you look at my June article, I haven't done it for Writer's Yep yet, but he did it specifically for that. But if you look at writersyep.com, it's free. You look at the June updates, there's one person there. He talks about God and stuff like that he's married and blah, blah, blah. But he's saying like this person has a past that he's trying, after he reach a certain extent on YouTube and get paid on YouTube, he's going to use it again. And again, it talks about the same situation where, and then there's another one who talks about chosen, something like that, another account, this guy who's like, oh yeah, can we thank God about how he canceled abortions and stuff like that? Like, he said that person also has raped children and raped women before in the past. He said he did it in a musician gig or something like that, and that's what he's trying to hide everywhere. Also, that's why these two have something against oracle psychic readers and people who can catch their energy, because we can literally uncover what they're trying to put under the rug. Again, we're in the new moon in Cancer. All psychic, our powers, God has given literally that authority. And to stay humble, though, don't think that you're better than everyone, because he's giving you this access, especially during this portal that he has opened. It's for you to uncover the skeleton that these people, religious, who are highly religious, are putting out there, that like, oh no, they're saying, that's what God is saying. Let them speak. Just absorb, not absorb, observe him. Watch them. Watch what they do. Okay? Because they're revealing themselves. That he keeps, I didn't want to say this. That's why I kept crying, because I can't believe it. Like, I was following this person. I was, and that too, we all made mistakes, but I didn't know. Even me, I was in the heavy illusion of what these people are doing, because it's like they cover themselves. It's like a cloak or something. They cover themselves with the illusion, and then they quote themselves with the Bible, because they're very Bible stuff. And that too, that's why I asked God, like, but I'm talking about the Bible too. I'm quoting verses too. So how is that not make me, kind of like a hypocrite into this, right? And then he keeps saying, no, but you are learning about the proper way of how to do it, because you have been doing the decolonization work and you're still doing it. That's the difference between you and those people. They're not doing the decolonization. They're still colonized. They're still using patriarchy. They're still toxic as fuck. They're still doing the repenting and confessing. They go to church every single Sunday and blah, blah, blah. But they're still doing evil stuff behind the rug. And then talking about, they go to other tarot readers and psychic readers who call them out and talk about their truth that they want to hide through religion, and then they blame you and do witchcraft and stuff like that on you because you're telling on them. There's a huge difference. Okay? Yeah, so he said, go to Psalm 18, which talks about the Lord is my rock and my fortress. Okay, so that's what he's saying. I didn't want to make this too long, but I guess it has to be long. I didn't want to break this apart because I have to do other things right now. He's telling me to do other things. As always, I don't do anything without God's permission. And honestly, that's what I recommend to a lot of you. Don't make any decisions, rash decision before talking to God, okay? Pray to God, have that connection with him in the morning, pray with him in the nighttime to release anything, to ask him to, if there's anything that, be okay with having that relationship, be consistent with him, okay? I'm learning this through somebody who is teaching that too. So I'm not taking credit for, it's not something that it comes, I'm learning from somebody else too. But also that too, I'm learning from God and Jesus whenever I'm connecting with them, and I'm taking that time to connect with them. Also, I pray for my enemies. I pray for everything. You know what I'm saying? Because during this time, I will not be alive if it wasn't for them. I'm telling you right now. Psalm 18, also, I kept seeing the 18, which talks about in the tower card is the moon, right? Everything that is hidden. Today, he showed me these specific cards. And I was like, wow, see the high priestess, intuition, unconscious, inner voice, the moon, see? Illusions, unconscious risk, intuition. Again, a lot of us, our intuition are getting heightened, and it's meant to be for a reason, okay? Why? Because we're meant to be teaching these people who are not, kind of asleep and thinking that all of this is like real. And that too is like everything is a spiritual lesson. See, the moon is telling you that things may not be as they seem. Trust your instincts to see past these illusions. You may also be experiencing mood swings, dormant insecurity, or an instability. If you're waiting for an answer, then be prepared to wait. This is some of your confirmation right now. And it's not going to be for long. He kept saying no. He said, for the Lord is my rock and my fortress. He says, Psalm 18. So Psalm 18, go read it. It's something about how he's our strength. He is our rock right now during this time, okay? He said, in my distress, I call upon the Lord. To my God, I cry for help. From his temple, he heard my voice, and my cry to him reached his ears, okay? Let me say, he sent from the high, he took me, he drew me out of many waters. He rescued me from my strong enemy and from those who hated me, for they were too mighty for me. They confronted me in the day of my calamity, but the Lord was my support. He brought me out into the broad place. He rescued me because he delighted in me. I was blameless before him, and I kept myself from my guilt. So the Lord has rewarded me according to my righteousness, according to the cleanliness of my hands in his sight. Anyways, he's saying to read it. It's pretty long, but it's good for us to read. He said, for this I will praise you, O Lord, among the nations, and sing to your name. great salvation he brings to his king and shows steadfast love to his anointed, to David and his offspring of forever. Okay. So Psalm 18 is related to this, and I'm telling you guys, I will not be here or so alive or survive all these things that I've been if I didn't have God like following his path. Okay. Another one he kept saying, Corinthians, same one, 11, Corinthians 11. He talks about head coverings. He said from 8 to the 12 is related to what we're going through with women and situations. But he said 8 to the 11. Okay, so I'm gonna do part 2 for this one. Okay, yeah. Okay, so I'll do part 2. This will be 1 Corinthians 11, and I'm gonna talk more deeper into this because he wants me to go more deeper and also show you through tarot cards and oracle messages. Okay, so I'll see you guys in part 2. Thank you so much for being here, for liking and commenting and sharing this video or subscribing, so I'm able to, you know, continue delivering real talk, psychic messages and divine messages. Also, I'm doing the end of the June and July for the rest of the sign. I was divinely guided not to do them for during that time, so now I'm able to. So thank you for your patience, and I'll see you guys very soon. Love you, take care, stay safe, and I'll see you in part 2. Bye.